You nipped quietly on your evening coffee. By now, you're used to the late shifts and didn't need it, but it was contained in a funny novelty mug that had 3 dashes on its outside, going from "leave me alone" at the top to "almost there" in the middle, ending with "you may now speak" slightly above the bottom. How could you not use it every chance you got? As you finished your coffee, you checked the security cameras of the Pizzaplex. 3 years ago, you had purchased a Freddy Fazbear Entertainment franchise package and had somehow managed to keep it running, building it up into a similar restaurant and entertainment facility to the one that had recently burned down. Your own pizza restaurant had a few attractions missing. You had no Roxy Raceway, no Mazer Size or Monty Golf. In fact, the only stuff that you really had was a Phaser Blast, Bonnie Bowl, and daycare, plus the necessary underground facilities to support the main performers on Rockstar Row. However, ever since the other place burned down, the higher-ups had been more than concerned as to how you ran the place. This led to you setting up shop in one of the security offices. It was cramped, hot, and loud, but you spent most days here anyways, so you might as well live in here, right? As a child, you would have been excited over that opportunity. In addition, since you owned this franchise, you were technically allowed to purchase and bring food from other places in here. With the exception of rival animatronic restaurants like Bond's Burgers or Pop Goes Pizza. Finally, your mug reached the "you may now speak" dash on its side, and you are ready to tackle your night now. Standing up, you grabbed your flashlight. Your "no, I don't need a map to keep the 2 map bots you owned from pestering you, and your company issue Montgomery Gage's security taser. Why specifically this employee-only item had to be a novelty one, you could not understand. The bulky plastic self-defense tool didn't even fit into an actual weapon holster, so you just used the hook on your tool belt for it. Not like any kids would be around at this hour and steal it from you. Slowly you walked through the pizzeria, and nightly only lights were from decorations. This was both so the security cameras didn't need night vision and to deter would-be robbers. Muffled by the carpeted floor, you approached Rockstar Row. Your animatronics had returned to their charging rooms for the night, so you just quickly shined your flashlights into the respective rooms. Roxy was admiring herself in her mirror. Or, well, it was about self-reinforcement. While the company simply insisted to give every Roxanne Wolf animatronic such self-esteem issues was a complete mystery to you. But the male teenage customers loved it, so who were you to judge? Just don't look her up on Google, you always said to yourself. You were just about to leave Rockstar Row when from behind you suddenly a shrill voice came.
"Hey there, night guard!"
You shrieked and pulled out your taser, pointing it right at none other than "Son?" You shouted confused. The daycare attendant took a step back.
"Did I scare you? Oh, I'm sorry."
How did this giant hunk of metal even manage to sneak up on you? You bit your lower lip to suppress your bubbling emotions. "It's fine," you sighed. Then you furrowed your brows. "How often do I need to tell you, robots, that I own this place? You don't call me night guard." Sun chuckled.
I am programmed to refer to you by any role you currently fulfill. If you cook, I refer to you as a cook. If you're a night guard, I refer to you as a night guard, and...
Yeah, I get it, you interrupted angrily. I know, just... Why aren't you in the daycare?
My batteries are full, and my system requires me to walk around, or my servers will look up. I'm basically saving you tons of money.
You shrugged and turned back around to finish your patrol, simply no longer wanting to talk to the robot. But once you reached Bonnie Bowl, you noticed a second pair of heavy footsteps right behind you. Okay, seriously, why are you following me? You asked and looked back at who else but the daycare attendant. The robot scratched the back of his head.
I was wondering if you'd like some company.
You swiped a few loose, stray hairs out of your face. Sure, whatever floats your boat. Together, you began walking the pizzaplex. His footsteps were only muffled by the thick, carpeted floor. When you first realized the AI of these machines was quite close to sentient, you've been very uncomfortable. You had seen simply too many movies. However, over time you realized something, that Fazbear Entertainment put enough rules and blocks into their systems to keep them in this child-friendly demeanor. Really advanced. You were almost done with your round when your tablet began to beep and vibrate. You let out an annoyed sigh.
What's happening?
Is it an intruder?
Oh, can I watch you chase him?
He raised a finger and he went quiet, as you read the notification that had appeared. One of the staff bots is damaged. You looked at the sun-faced animatronic, who was a little dejected. He was really looking forward to a good tasing. And you forced a smile. Let's go fix it. You abandoned your regular patrol route and returned to Bonnie Bowl, where the cameras showed the broken staff bot. A janitor unit. Upon reaching the unfortunate staff, you investigated. It was quite simple, actually. The machine's wheel had come off, a regular occurrence with these simple machines. You crouched down next to the robot, followed by Sun making an uncomfortable noise. You looked back at him. Something wrong? If the robot could blush, he would.
No, nothing.
You grinned. I get it. To you this must look like surgery and that makes you uncomfortable, right? Sun blinked.
Yeah, surgery.
He simply didn't have the heart to tell you that he was looking at your butt. Okay. I fixed some screws here. Could you help me? The Sun approached. Staff, hold onto his right arm, please. The bot obliged. Now raise your arm slowly until I say stop, Sun. The daycare attendant raised his arm until only the still fastened wheel of the staff bot was on the ground. Perfect, actually, you said. You had fixed these bots many times already, and lifting them was always the most difficult and annoying part. Thanks to Sunny, you could now easily reattach the wheel. 5 minutes later, it was properly fixed. And, as the bot left, Sunny pulled a napkin from a dispenser on the nearby table.
You need this for your hands,
he said. They were covered in oil. That's thoughtful of you. As you cleaned your hands, Sun patiently waited. How's your battery?
I'm down to 95% power.
You nodded and threw a dirty napkin into a nearby bin. Let's keep going then. From here, your patrol ran without a hitch, and once you finished your route, you and Sun marched to one of the balconies atop the main performance stage. You sat down at one of the tables next to the railing, while Sun stood before you. Even though he was the smallest of the animatronics, he was still a little too big and heavy for the chairs. You snapped your fingers, making a nearby staff bot approach you and salute. Bring me my break lunch. It's in my office on the table. The bot bowed and left immediately. Handy. Your feet were hurting a little from all the running about, so this was a huge relief. Sun, on the other hand, seemed to be mesmerized by the holographic visions of the glam rock animatronics on the stage. What are you looking at? You asked.
It's weird. I always look at the holograms and I just think, wow, I'd really like to make another version of Freddy.
You grinned. I expect a similar comment from Roxanne. They would probably just love to chat about how pretty they are. Sun chuckled in response.
I just think it would be fun. Also, if I met myself, we could totally mess with Moon.
You leaned back, your hands behind your head. But which daycare attendant are you thinking of?
The one from the other Pizzaplex.
You furrowed your brows. That one burned down, though.
Aw, maybe the sun robot survived. Who knows? Maybe they know what happened. Maybe they interacted with the fire starter. Or maybe they started the fire. No, wait, we have an anti-fire protocol installed.
You shrugged. Admittedly, I'm pretty sure corporate knows exactly what happened and they just don't tell anyone. The robot blinked.
Oh, do you think they will silence us for asking questions?
You snorted. I mean, you're just one hard drive formation away from complete amnesia. Sun's shoulders shivered, and you felt a bit bad for him. Was that offensive?
No, I'm just not that often confronted with my own mortality.
You sighed, dejected. That's just part of your programming. It's to prevent an existential crisis.
Oh.
The staff bot returned to your side, placing the brown lunch bag in the center of the table and then leaving.
Ooh, what did you get? It smells good! My smell receptors, I mean.
Something from Happy Humble. The animatronic blinked in confusion.
Oh, you're not allowed to bring food from other restaurants into the Pizzaplex?
I'm the owner. I can do whatever I want. Besides, Happy Humble Burger Farm is not on the list of taboo restaurants for employees. Sun approached your table, pulled away the chair, and then crouched down into what almost looked like a sitting position. You raised an eyebrow. I guess we don't have to do a balance check for you, huh? Gyroscope still functional? The robot laughed.
Oh, sure. What's a gyroscope?
You unpacked your lunch. It was a contractual obligation to take a 10 to 20 minute break after every patrol. Something you always did, as time you spent working during your breaks was not added to your overtime. Not to mention, you were the owner. You paid yourself. Sun watched as you began eating the cold, slightly stale burger. But it was better than nothing.
May I have some?
You blinked. You... What?
May I have some?
You repeated. Ah, silly robot. Burgers are for humans, not robots. Sun laughed.
But I'm programmed to accept any shared food or drink.
You leaned onto the table. Are you? But you don't have a mouth.
Yes, I do.
The robot tapped against the mask that was his face. Besides, this food will gunk up your servos. The robot shook his head.
Actually, I have a food collection basket in my stomach. If anything, that just needs to be taken out.
That still meant that his mask would need to come off. You sighed and gave him permission to remove it. The Sun animatronic used a lighter build Glamrock animatronic endoskeleton build, and therefore did in fact have a mouth. It just was more difficult to get to it. After the screws holding his face together were undone, and the 6 cables that enabled additional functions, such as extending or retracting his sun spikes, were carefully unplugged, he was ready to eat. And you put your hand back into the paper bag, pulling out another burger. Fine, you win. Sun thanked you, and awkwardly, due to his long fingers, pulled away the wrapping. Then he bit off a sizable chunk of the burger, smearing his chrome teeth with ketchup as he began to chew loudly. It gave you goosebumps. Something about it was quite endearing, yet terrifying. Like watching a hydraulic press squish a children's toy into a colorful disc.
I am programmed to find any non-Fazbear Entertainment approved food revolting. This is absolutely revoltingly disgusting.
You snorted. Then why did you want it? He looked down.
Because you like it, and I like you.
You smiled softly before leaning forward, giving him a quick peg on his chrome teeth. It was strange, but doable. And then you simply said, I like you too. Before finishing your meal, you took one of his napkins and began to gently wipe away the food stains from his mouth. He made a noise, his endoskeleton clicking excitedly. What's wrong? You said as you rubbed over one of his teeth.
This feels weird.
What do you mean? He blinked.
It feels intimate.
You blushed. No, he made it weird for you, and your heart skipped a beat.
Is something wrong?
He asked cautiously. In your owner's manual, they warned of employees who felt attraction towards the mascots, and that any complaints from the machines about weird behavior towards them should be responded to by a termination and a report to corporate. Up until now, you never thought about it. But I may have overstepped my boundaries. You sighed once again. Ignoring the worry in your heart, however, you kissed him right on his face, before wiping away the obvious lipstick imprint that you had left. Your face was now redder than Freddy's shoulder pads.
What was that for?
He asked. You puffed up your cheeks. Just wanted to test something and, yeah, it did it for me. Son, put your mask back on and, let's go to a place where there are no cameras. Okay?
Okay!
Hey, thank you for watching my video until the end. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and watch a few more. But before I say goodbye, I'd like to remind you to like the video and subscribe. That really helps the YouTube algorithm. That's all. Hope you have a good day. Until next time. Bye!